ice cream's the best. It's kind of like seeing Billy Joel perform live. Never disappoints. I highly doubt you know it just off of that quote.
No.
Well, it's from Ted Lasso.
Okay.
Welcome. What?
If it's from season 2, I would be very in the dark. So
Yeah, I don't know what season it's from. I was trying to find a good Ted Lasso quote, and I was scrambling, and I couldn't find a great one. So I just found a good one.
Okay.
All right, welcome to Utterly Useless Podcast, the special edition, the Normies, where we're going to discuss the awards for the normal people that will enjoy movies instead of the Oscars or whatever, the artsy fartsy stuff. With me, as always, is the
Phil Donahue of the Normies.
the beard of the episode is Criddle.
Oh, hello.
And then next to me here, Danny Rojas of the podcast, Brett Williams.
Soccer is life.
And then, as always, me, your beloved Jeremy Williams here as Roy Kent. Bugger off. I couldn't give myself Ted Lasso. I don't know, I wanted to, but I couldn't. I'm not worthy. Anyway. All right, so this episode's a special edition. We're going to be, like I said earlier, this is our awards to the best movies and TV shows by category for the year of 2022. The shows that have been forgotten about by artsy fartsy award shows, and we will discuss what we will decide is the best. And so, yeah, let's hit it off. So number one here, we're going to start off with movies in 2022. We're going to start off with horror as our category. So right here, interesting thing I noticed here is that Criddle, you put Jurassic World 3.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of an interesting.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I mean, some people classify it as horror.
And let me stop and do a disclaimer here. We have not seen every movie in 2022. This is not our job. So there are movies that you're going to be like, oh, why didn't you mention that movie? Why isn't that movie on the list? It's merely just because we haven't seen literally every movie or TV show that has come out in 2022. And even some of these on the list, I haven't seen them, and maybe Brett or Criddle have. So that's just how we're going to roll. Sorry. Okay. Game on.
And the nominees are
Yeah.
for Best Horror of 2022.
Violent Night. Have you seen that?
No, but I want to.
I do too.
I want to as well.
Yeah. Jurassic World 3. Scream. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Black Phone. And Smile. All right. So I put Smile in there. I don't think anybody's seen it, right? I want to.
No, I bought it for my sister for Christmas present, but have not.
I've heard good things.
Yeah.
I've seen Black Phone. I'm probably the only one here, right?
Yeah.
That was a great one. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. We've all seen that, right?
Yes.
Thoughts on that being a horror film?
I mean, it's probably the darkest Marvel movie to date. I still would classify it more as an action.
Yeah.
But if it's one of those things where you're talking to your kids and it's just like, oh, hey, I want to go see Dr. That's what I would think of. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a horror movie for you. So like I would classify it generally primarily as an action movie. But like if an 8-year-old or a 5-year-old would be like, I want to go see that movie, I'd be like, no, you're going to have nightmares for months.
It's like a beginner's horror film.
I took my 7-year-old to see it.
And is that why you were sleeping on the floor for?
It could have been.
I didn't particularly care for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
No,
it's got horror elements.
Yeah,
but it's more sci-fi probably.
I mean, Phase 4, more like Phase Bore.
Except some of the TV shows. That's the only. I feel like the movies failed. The TV shows prospered. If you ask me, like Loki. So, but yeah, I think I say this all the time about especially superhero movies. The movie's going to be only as good as the bad guy. For example, Dark Knight. Heath Ledger's Joker, one of the best bad guys, if you ask me, of all time. So the movie was fantastic. I did not care for what's her name to being a bad guy.
The Scarlet Witch?
Yeah, Scarlet Witch, yeah.
I just never cared about the character to begin with. When we got first introduced to them, I was like, I don't like you. And then when it was just like, oh, did you know that Vision and her are a thing in the comics? I'm like, oh, great. The second character that I don't care for.
You can just exclude them now together. They're off on their honeymoon. Leave them alone. Scream, I don't think anybody's seen that, right?
No.
I want to just because I've seen all the previous Screams.
To
Nostalgia.
complete everything.
Yeah. And then they're coming out with another Scream.
Yeah, I
think.
saw that. They're going to go to New York now. What was it? Somebody said it took Jason like 4 movies to get to Manhattan. It's taken Scream like 6 movies to get to New York.
How long are we going to wait till we see Ghostface in space?
Ghostface.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
You know,
Scream X.
You know that we brought up, you just brought up Jason. So I'm not the most Jason savvy, knowledgeable person. So maybe you guys can help me with this because somebody put out a good question on the internet the other day. So which of the movies? It was like 2 or 3 that it's actually Jason, right?
The first one obviously is not.
Yeah.
Second one is. Third one, I don't think is. I think that one takes place on a kind of like farm camp or whatever, and then the fourth one I believe is. So there's a couple of them that are not Jason.
So with that, the question is how Jason died as a kid. How come he's a grown up in the ones he's in?
Apparently he didn't die as a kid. Like maybe he just was living a very rugged lifestyle out in the woods, because according to, his rationale for killing people in the second one is he watched, I think the girl's name is Nancy, decapitate his mom.
Oh, wow.
And so then he's just like, no, you.
Oh, he didn't die in the water, huh?
I guess not, no.
Huh, interesting. All right. Well, my bad for taking us down a different path there. All right. And then, we've talked about all of them. All right. Well, I mean, I have mine locked in pretty easily. Is there any others that we've forgotten about?
I was looking.
Nope.
And.
Oh, nope. I thought you were saying nope.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of his. Why can't I'm always Key and Peele. I think he's Key.
Yeah.
Or is he Peele? No, he's Peele.
Peele.
He's Peele.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of his horror films. I've seen 2 of them, and like each one of them, like, eh.
I mean, what was it? The first one.
Was it? No, not Us.
That's the second one.
What was I know you're talking about the guy that gets put under like a hypnosis guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
The first one sounded the most intriguing. The second one, Us, I was just like, no. And then when I saw the Nope, I was just like, you know what?
Oh, you saw Nope?
No, when I saw the trailer for it in the movie theater, I was like, yeah, that's aptly titled. Yeah, Nope. I'm not going to be watching that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he's trying to tell a different story than just horror, which is fine. I just don't think the horror part is enjoyable for me because I do enjoy horror movies.
Yeah. Which is sad because, I've watched horror movies. I just haven't watched any of these horror movies.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to pick it's hard to watch the ones of this year. You have 365 days to watch. Well, not always because of release dates, but you have all, most of the year to watch these, and we haven't watched them all, so it's a little sad.
Yeah.
But all right, well, I'm ready for my winner. Are you all ready for yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my winner, I don't think is a surprise at all, is Black Phone.
All right.
I think that was a very unique way to do a movie. and yeah, it's not horror in your. It's more of yeah. It's not a horror like they talk about ghosts. The ghosts aren't really scary, but it's like obviously the kid being kidnapped and all that stuff. It's a good one. Yep.
What about you?
Oh, I was kind of leaning towards Violent Night.
Yeah, even though I haven't seen it, I'm leaning towards Violent Night because there is a 2020 horror movie that I've wanted to watch that kind of reminded me of this, and it is called Fat Man, which stars Mel Gibson as I'm not sure if he's a disgruntled Santa.
I just saw that the other day somewhere.
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh, he played Santa before.
yeah, and what was it that the on again off again friend in the Justified series is the I think villain of the entire thing.
You talking about the one that's an Ant-Man?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I know. All right. Let's see. Criddle, that was your vote. Your vote, right?
That was my vote.
And Brett, what did you go with?
Yeah, I'm going with Criddle. I'm going with Violent
Night.
Night. Yeah.
My thoughts on it is like, is it going to be more of an action, violent, or is it going to be a horror violent? I don't know.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. All right. Well, hopefully it becomes a new Christmas tradition.
I know. I mean, last year I got the 8-bit Christmas added to the tradition, and who knows? Maybe Violent Night.
Violent Night. Yep. All right. Next, our category, which has very few nominees in it. We have drama. There's "Marry Me," a greatest beer run ever. I put over ever, and I've actually seen both of these. So,
well, I guess we can also add in, I'm not sure if you would classify it as a comedy, but it is the Ticket to Paradise, the George Clooney, Julia Roberts.
I don't think I even know of that movie.
I know of it because I saw a trailer. I've been to like 5 movies this year, and sadly they've basically played almost the same exact trailer. In fact, I guess for the horror movie, what was it? There's that one movie where those 2 girls get trapped on that cell phone tower.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I thought about adding that there too. Yeah.
But I guess I have seen a drama. It's Where the Crawdads Live or whatever.
Yeah, how was that?
You know what? Not bad. It's an intriguing premise. It's very slow. It has a massively good twist ending, which I was just like made me like reconsider every single character interaction at the very end. So I guess I could say that I have seen a drama for this year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really liked "Marry Me" as a kind of rom-com drama. I don't know.
Who's in Marry Me?
That is Jennifer Lopez and Owen. Why can't I remember?
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson, yes.
Okay.
And he's a teacher, and he goes to this concert with his daughter and his coworker, and the coworker, who's I believe, if memory serves, is a lesbian, and so she's like really into Jennifer Lopez. She has a sign that says "Marry Me." She needs to do something, like he's like, hold this, and so he's holding it, and during this time, Jennifer Lopez, before the show, she found out her fiance, who she's about to be married to, is cheating on her.
Oh.
So she's a little emotional, and so I think they're supposed to get married during that. I can't remember, man. It's been since it came out. Anyway, long story short, she sees a sign and she says yes, just because her life is like so chaotic that she's going to do something reckless because, yeah. And it turns out, to be a nice story because Owen Wilson plays a very nice gentleman, and I think it doesn't end exactly, if my memory serves, doesn't end exactly how you think it would, but it's still like a nice ending.
Okay.
So, for me, and I'm going to cast my vote for my winner. I'm going to say greatest beer run ever, because That was a really good movie. I did not expect it to be a drama when I watched it. I expected it to be a comedy because when they tease it in the trailer, there's a lot of jokes. And I mean, there's a decent amount of jokes in it, but it's definitely watered down by how much drama is in there. If you haven't heard of the movie is, what's your guy's name?
Zac Efron.
Yeah, thank you. Zac Efron. Zac Efron is decides that nobody is really supporting the troops back here in America. Everybody's anti the Vietnam War. So he's going to bring some beers to his buddies to show his appreciation for them and so that they know that people back home are thinking about him and care about him. So he's a merchant marine, and so he hops on a boat to Vietnam, and then he spends I want to say it's 3 days, 72 hours, trying to find all his friends and giving them a beer. So real good story. Highly recommend it to watch. It's on Apple TV.
Okay, I will cast my vote for the greatest beer run ever because Zac Efron's in it.
I kind of figured that's where that was going. All right,
That's
good.
fine.
Yeah, you're going for it too?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right, trifecta.
Now, I mean, we probably talked about this before, but I feel like dramas are just not, for me, they don't stick out very much.
No, they don't. Like, whenever I see a drama for a trailer, the instant I see it, I'm just like, I don't want to ever watch that. And if I do watch that, it's one of those movies that I feel as though I'm like, I'm into that. I'll watch that eventually. But there's what was it? That one movie with James Garner, the Notebook or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing trailers for it. I'm like, that looks good. I'll see it. I'm not going to run out and see it. I'm not going to run out to the library and borrow it. I'm not going to scroll through Netflix to see if it's available for free. But eventually, one of these days, before I die, I will watch The Notebook.
It's kind of ironic. I mean, in my mind, what I'm thinking is ironic because it's kind of like the movie Bucket List, because it's like, this is a drama. You don't need to watch it, but it's on your bucket list to watch.
Yeah.
So I get it. But then I thought for a second, because I was like, oh, but Brett really likes the Titanic, and that's a drama. But then I was like, historical fiction's a historical drama. I mean, it's a little different.
Yes, because what was it? War Horse, fantastic historical
Mm-hmm.
drama.
What is that one movie that 1912?
Yeah,
Is that what it's called?
That's a good one. Yeah,
That's a fantastic movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that might be in more action. No, I don't know. Those are hard. The war
It's
ones are
hard because it's there's action scenes, and in dramas there. I mean, you could also classify. I mean, a lot of people have now moved it to classic, but you could classify The Godfather as a drama because it's majority drama, but there's some massively good action scenes in it.
Yeah. All right. And Criddle, you said greatest beer run ever, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I haven't seen it, but I'll trust you.
Thank you. All right. The next category that has a ton of nominees, I'll just list off the nominees, is action. We got The Batman, Bullet Train, Black Adam, Uncharted, The Adam Project, Top Gun Maverick, The Gray Man, Black Panther, Everything All at Once. All right. So, first of all, there's quite a few of these I have not seen. And to start off with Everything All at Once, I don't know what that is.
I had never heard of it. It was recommended by a couple of friends that I work with. It looks to be like The One.
Oh, really?
Very similar to The One.
I enjoyed The One. That is a movie that I'm pretty sure nobody cares for, but I enjoyed it.
But it's one of those things where this one lady who is, very into martial arts or whatever, she's been in so many martial arts movies or whatever, and she basically is kind of like falling through different realities in a sense. And it's but it's all happening to her all at once. She's like, a poor lady in one, in another one she is, trying to fight some sort of grandmaster. Most of it seems to be like very martial arts fighting storylines. So
It
that
looks trippy.
I threw it in there because I do think it should be something that is on people's list to watch. I haven't watched it yet, but I think that it deserves to be acknowledged.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. Yeah, it looks trippy when you see the trailer. I mean, you could watch the trailer and go, "What's going on?" It doesn't give away everything. It just more like it's like a trippier Doctor Strange.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. The next one here, I'm going backwards. Black Panther. Brett, I know you've seen that.
Yeah, pass.
I forgot who it was. I swear somebody told me that was one of the better Marvel movies, and I was like, really?
That's interesting. Like, if you're in for slow, then Black Panther 2 is perfect for you.
Then next we got Gray Man, which I've been told by numerous people to watch, but I haven't yet. Anybody watch it yet?
No, that's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, Netflix. Right?
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
Sorry, we can't represent Gray Man. Top Gun Maverick. I've seen that.
I have not seen that, but I own it.
One of these days, I'm going to get around to watching it. As the same with the first Top Gun. I'm going to get around to watching it one of these days.
Me too. I've said ever since I watched Top Gun Maverick that I need to watch number one of these days. All right, next one, Adam Project.
I thought that was a big surprise on Netflix.
Yeah, you saw
I
it?
really enjoyed it. Yeah.
What is it about?
It's about this guy who is from the future. He travels back in time and ends up crossing paths with his younger self. And he's trying to find a way back to the future. Also, he's looking for his wife.
Is that Ryan Reynolds?
It's Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
That sounds good.
It was a surprise. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a good family movie. It's not Ryan Reynolds isn't 100% like Ryan Reynolds. He tones it down a little bit because it is more of a family style movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I really enjoyed it. It's kind of a surprise for 2022. We just kind of watched it randomly on Netflix.
It's on my list to watch. That's for sure. All right, the next one is Uncharted, which
I Uncharted is really good. Like the best way I can describe Uncharted, and I didn't play any of the video games, but I would say it's basically a hybrid of Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider.
That's a good hybrid there.
It looks good. The trailers always intrigued me, and I want to see it.
Yeah, I had a friend that played the video games, and he told me how greatly they were hailed as one of the greatest games. So I imagine the movies, they have a good story to go off of.
Mark Wahlberg, Tom Holland.
Oh, yeah. Next one is Black Adam.
I enjoyed that. That is one of those turn your brain off and just watch superheroes beat the crap out of superheroes.
And enjoy the end of the DC universe.
Yeah. I'm all for it.
And the next one's Bullet Train, which I haven't seen, but I want to.
Oh, man. I was this close to just buying it on iTunes because I'm like, I'd heard so many good things about it. And I was like, okay, no. Because last time...
It's on Netflix right now.
I know.
Okay.
So last time I basically was just like waiting and waiting and waiting. It was with Free Guy. And I'm like, no, I'm going to wait for this. I'm not going to go out and buy this. I'm just going to wait for it. It's going to be available soon. I know it is. And then I just was like, you know what? $9.99. I'm just going to buy it. So I bought it. 2 days later, I'm like flipping through either HBO Max or Netflix, and it's there. And I'm like, could have saved me $10. And so I was about ready to buy it. I'm like, no. So I go onto my phone and I just start like looking up future releases on Netflix. And as I was going through it, it was like Bullet Train coming out in 2 days. I'm like, all right, I've just saved myself $10.
There you go.
Excellent. I love Bullet Train.
Oh, really?
It is.
Is
so,
Brad Pitt funny in it? Like, because he looks like he's supposed to be.
Oh, yeah. He plays like, I think he really makes the movie. Like, he's supposed to be on this train. And I'll tell you, the beauty of this is the massive storytelling. I've liked, I liked, and I don't know where you stand on it, but I like the movie Snatch, and
It's all right.
and I like all the stories surrounding it. I find that Bullet Train is like Snatch, except 10 times funnier.
That's good. With that recommendation, I'm going to be watching it soon.
I want to see it too.
And then the final nomination, The Batman, which we've all seen, right?
Yes.
I'll say what I said before. The Batman, what's his name playing Batman? Fantastic job. Him playing Bruce Wayne, not so fantastic. But then I really like Colin Farrell as the Penguin. That I think I told you last time that I watched half of the movie and I'm like, wait a minute, isn't Colin Farrell supposed to be in this movie? And I'm like, who's he supposed to be? Where is he? And I'm like, oh, that's right, he's the Penguin. No. and then I thought the spin on Riddler was fantastic as well.
Yeah. No, that's good. And then, they're teasing the Joker, even though I think they're like whoever's directing it actually has another Bat villain actually kind of sorted out for the next movie. Because he doesn't want to have super powered super villains. He does not want to have like Clayface and stuff like that. He wants to have like your Riddler. He wants to have your Penguin. I'm not even sure if he would like to have Bane in existence in this universe.
See, and then the interesting thing is, I think when I was prepping this list or something, I thought that I saw that Penguin's gonna have a spinoff.
Yes,
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, did I make that up?
Nope.
That'll be cool because if you've ever watched the show, Gotham, I like the stories of everything that happens in Gotham City. It's just a great, from the mobs or the mafia or whatever you want to call it, all the different families, all that's just fantastic. And so if they're going after the Penguin, which in Gotham, Penguin is kind of centralized, is a central unit to a lot of the mafia. That'd be great. I think those stories are sometimes just as good as Batman's story.
Yeah.
All right, vote time to see who wins. Some of these, I've only seen 2. I'm sad. This is what happens when you have kids.
I'm going to go with Bullet Train.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of... Your enthusiasm for 2 of them have definitely... Because I'm not going to vote Top Gun. That's clear because Top Gun's is a good action movie, but it's not anything I'm dying to watch again. That's for sure. Batman, it's good, but once again, I'm not really dying to watch it again. From the sound of these things, there's a lot of them I'm excited to watch. But the ones I'm excited to watch the most is Bullet Train and Uncharted. And so I'm probably leaning one of those ways.
I'm kind of leaning towards Bullet Train, but I will say that I think the Batman might be the best comic book movie of the year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. If we're doing comic book movie of the year, because, if you ask me, there probably wasn't too much of a...
No. But, I mean, you think Marvel would bring it, especially with their track record, and it's just been going downhill.
Did we leave off of... Didn't Spider-Man come out this year?
No, that came out last year.
Oh, okay. Did it come out like Christmas last year or something?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I'm surprised we didn't put that in there. But, okay, yes. With Spider-Man, because I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan, and I don't particularly care for the new Spider-Man series. That one probably would have maybe edged out Batman.
Oh, yeah. Spider-Man, that was probably one of the... sadly, I'm like, can you classify that as part of Phase 4? Because it's Sony, it is Marvel, but most of the stuff that was done came from the Sony universe. So, could you fully give that as part of Phase 4? Kind of an intriguing question.
Yeah. Disney needs to buy Spider-Man outright. All right. Well, I am excited for probably the most Bullet Train, so I'm going to cast my vote that way.
Bullet Train.
All right. And sci-fi fantasy. So we have Avatar, Slumberland, Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, and Moonfall. Starting with Moonfall, I don't even know what that is.
I don't know.
I was told not to watch it. I think it's available on HBO Max. I was watching the trailer. I'm like, this is stupid. Like the moon is some sort of sentient.
It has 2.5 stars at IMDb.
Yeah, it has some sort of like sentient AI on it or something like that, and they're trying to get the systems up. It's gonna like fall onto Earth, basically. Basically. It gives you the synopsis of the story in its title, kind of like Face Off. So, like,
whoa! Somebody doing a face off?
Sadly, I don't know what Slumberland is. Like,
Slumberland is something that I think is going to either be mediocre or bomb.
mm-hmm.
But it is Jason Momoa is like this.
Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah.
I do want to see that.
My prediction is mediocrity. I mean, if it hits out of the park, I would say. I'm just curious what the reviews are.
Because I will tell you, I don't know if either of you've seen the Avatar 2 trailer. I think that movie looks like it's awful.
I just wasn't a fan of Avatar 1, so I don't really care to see Avatar 2. So there's my bias right there. Back to Slumberland real quick. 6.7 on IMDb. Wow, I can't talk. A Rotten Tomatoes 38%. So, yeah.
I listened to a podcast yesterday with James Cameron talking about Avatar 2. And I mean, from what I keep hearing, they say it takes you back to Pandora. It gives you that immersive experience, but it's not one that I'm like wanting to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I might watch it once just to say I watched it, but when it comes out.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Like,
The only one I've seen on this list is The Secrets of Dumbledore, and I thought that was not good. And I even put it on one of the worst of the year.
Yeah, I didn't like the first Fantastic Beasts, and that's when I got off the train there. I was like, I'm not spending more of my time with Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put my vote for Slumberland.
It's kind of looking that way, isn't it? Because like I'm not excited for Avatar. I'm just curious, what is Avatar, their reviews getting and all that?
I've heard they're mixed. You either love it or you hate it.
It's an 8.1 on IMDb and a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. So that would suggest it's a good one. Although I am not the normal person, so I still don't want to cast my vote with the majority.
No, like what did you say it was on IMDb?
IMDb is 8.1.
So if it was 8.1 on IMDb and it got like a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, I think that would be my wheelhouse.
Yep, I hear you there.
So I'm casting my vote, and I'm going to put Bullet Train on there again. So.
Wait a minute. Whoa. We can put Bullet Train on sci-fi and fantasy. Brett, you've seen it.
Just because I can.
I'm sitting there like, there is the whole have to, the ability to pull out disbelief for Bullet Train. But, oh, man. Then since you said that, I will tell you, I will tease this for you. Tangerine. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm almost looking for another movie to vote for because I don't like these movies.
I'm putting Bullet Train on that list too. It's going to win 2 categories.
Shouldn't Jurassic World be in there too? Not that I'm going to vote for it, but
I mean, if we're talking sci-fi, it's more sci-fi than probably a horror.
I'd say it's more fantasy.
Was this year not a very sci-fi fantasy movie oriented year?
No, it must not.
I'm looking at all these movies that are on lists here for sci-fi and fantasy, and I'm like, nope, not worth it, not good. Yeah, even their lists are short, unless I've completely.
Yeah, I don't really care for any of the nominations, so I'm going with Bullet Train.
Because Criddle talked me into it, I'm going Bullet Train.
All right. I'll take that.
All right, Bullet Train wins again. Okay, comedy. Thor: Love and Thunder. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Hocus Pocus 2,
And Bullet Train.
Bullet Train.
Yes, let's put Bullet Train on there.
Is Bullet Train funny enough to be considered a comedy?
I think so. Again, Tangerine.
I'm looking at through anything else that we could possibly.
I mean, the only thing I'm seeing on here would be, what is that? That Sandra Bullock, Lost City with Channing Tatum. I guess that would either be like a chick flick drama and or a comedy.
I'm also seeing Chippendale.
Oh, Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. That was
fantastic.
That was a fantastic. I love how we're grown adults going, yeah, Chippendale Rescue Rangers
It was just so nostalgic.
It was.
They hit all the beats, and then just that Sonic in there was great.
I love Ugly Sonic. Oh my word.
Oh, Ugly Sonic was the best. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm looking through once again everybody else's list. What the heck? This guy has a finger up a dead body's nose.
So Bullet Train for the win.
Bullet Train comes back for another one. Man, this episode of ours is gonna suck. People are like, oh man, we just should put it in the title. Bullet Train wins everything. Wins best drama.
Best TV series magically.
Oh man, a lot of these. Have you guys seen the new Knives Out one?
No, but now I'm thinking.
I want to see it, and it looks fantastic.
Is there any musical aspects of Bullet Train?
It's a stretch.
He's just singing.
Roll credits.
Okay. Yeah. As far as any other list I can possibly pull up here, I can't find anything that's not artsy fartsy, to be honest. Oh, I see the one Sandra Bullock one you mentioned.
Yeah.
Lost City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll put it on the list. It's worth noting. That's for sure. Have anybody else seen it besides me?
No.
The Lost City, no.
Yeah. It's funny.
It's on Prime, I think, right now for free.
It's on something else too, because I don't get on Prime very often. Prime angers me.
I liked Prime, and then they did an update to their app, and it is frustrating me.
Yeah, is it the fact that like you can't distinguish? It's difficult to distinguish what's free and what's not free.
Yes.
Yes, that is what frustrates me.
Yeah, that is a frustration.
So, Violent Night's on this list for comedy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, I'm gonna stop looking at these possible best comedies because I am coming up with nothing new. It's just, I guess Spirited could be considered a comedy, right? I mean, it is a comedy.
Yeah.
So, just throwing everything in multiple categories here.
So we have
I'm gonna cast my vote, and it's gonna be for The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
I might go for Thor 4 just because it got a lot of hate, but I enjoyed it.
I do like those. Everything on this list. So Thor: Love and Thunder, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I haven't seen Hocus Pocus 2, so I'm a little hesitant to say I recommend it. Chippendale Rescue Rangers, recommend. Lost City, it's like a typical Sandra Bullock recommendation. Like, you know what you're gonna get, and like in her comedies, it's like Miss Congeniality. It's that level, so just expect that. And Spirited, I recommend. So all these comedies are fantastic. I wish they made more of them. Oh gosh, I'm going to pick
Bullet Train.
Bullet Train comes around again. No, it's either Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent or Chippendale, and I'm going Chippendale. I'm going Chippendale. Just because Chippendale made me laugh so much. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is hilarious, but Chippendale has just made me laugh.
So we have a 3-way tie for comedy.
Exactly. All right, musical. Well, this should be easy. We only have Spirited on here.
Bullet Train wins.
Yeah, Spirited was fantastic. I don't even want to look any other lists on here of musicals that came out this year.
Spirited was...
I think West Side Story came out this year. I'm still don't care.
Spirited, though, was just such a big surprise, and I love the perspective of the ghost, and just... Like they make it like a huge production from the ghost perspective, like how much time and energy and how they can cut scenes just on the spot with people. It was so good.
Yeah.
According to this list, they threw the Elvis kind of
Oh yeah.
biopic or whatever on there. I really enjoyed that.
You watched it?
Oh yeah, I was very impressed. It makes me, it makes Elvis so sympathetic. I mean, granted, it is probably skewed a certain way, and possibly they make the Tom Hanks character diabolical and evil, and Elvis was there was no fault of his own. He was just some sort of bumpkin who just agreed with everything, which could be, I think, a more like delved into Elvis's life, I think would be fantastic.
It's rare that you see an evil Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Do they ever go into the fact, like, do they go into his whole life?
Yeah. They basically pick it up from when he is like a teenager, all the way to his death.
Did they ever get into the weirdness of him and his like young bride?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, that'll be interesting to watch then. Because I've always wanted to learn more about why. Especially because she's one of my favorite comedies.
Yeah.
She's in the Naked Gun series. All right. The only other ones I'm seeing in here is Cyrano, which I have no desire of watching.
And then there's Bowie.
Bowie. Oh, did Bowie came out? I never even knew Bowie came out with a movie this year. Obviously, he didn't, but
Yeah, it came out. It looks. I don't know when it came out, but it came out in 2022. I don't know. A lot of people really like David Bowie. I'm glad for those people.
I think I'm just ready to cast my vote. I am gonna vote for, no surprising, Spirited.
I will agree with that. Spirited.
And I'm just gonna go with Elvis.
Nobody voted for. Oh, but I don't think that came out this year. Cats. Why is it on this list? Oh, it's 2022 and 2021. All right. Mystery. Knives Out 2, Death on the Nile, See How They Run. I don't know. See How They Run.
Don't watch it. I thought was. I swear we saw that as a stage play at the Hale Theater when we were much younger, and I remember like, oh, I think I like this movie. Oh, they or this play. I think I'll like it as a movie because now they can like have like a more open world. Mm-hmm. If it was supposed to be comedic, it completely missed.
It says comedy mystery.
Yeah, it completely missed to me personally on the comedy. It was super dry, which granted, I appreciate some dry humor and dark comedy. It had some dark comedy, but the humor was maybe I'm just not that dry of a person. It just didn't land. I threw that on there just to not recommend it to watching it.
I put Knives Out 2 on the list. I haven't seen it yet. I've seen trailers, and I thoroughly enjoyed the first Knives Out.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too.
And I am super excited to watch the second one. I want to see it over my break and enjoy that.
I'm just curious here, looking at like ratings in here. If Knives Out 2 obviously is anywhere in the realm of Knives Out 1 with ratings. So Knives Out 2 has an 8 out of 10 for IMDb, 81% on Metacritic, and 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm going with that. Knives Out. Final answer.
I want to see what Knives Out 1 now is in comparison.
I think he's just a well-written character, and I like the detective.
Okay. No, I want normal. It won't quit showing me Knives Out 2 stuff. So I'll just look at IMDb then. 7.9, so technically it's a little bit less. It's just a little bit.
Well, I mean, most sequels don't always live up to the
No.
original.
I looked at reverse order.
Oh, reverse order. Okay.
Yeah, I did number 2 first and number 1.
So number 2's better.
By 0.1 according to IMDb.
I hope so, because I don't want to be that person, but I found Knives Out overrated.
I could see that, especially depending on when you came in. Like, did you ride? That's the problem with hype, is if you wait too long. There's a certain area in time where if you've been told too many times that the movie's great, and then you go see it during that time,
I like to call it, at least for me, the something about Mary effect.
I got onto it because I love the whodunit effect, and I like that it wasn't straightforward.
I think I watched it before anybody had told me about it.
Yes.
So nobody ruined it, but yeah, definitely if you are telling somebody how great it is, and like Ant-Man for me was that people told me forever how great it was, and I watched it during kind of like the cusp of people still telling me how great it was, and I watched it, like, it was all right.
See, and I'm curious if that's why I liked Guardians of the Galaxy so much, because I went in not hyped to see Ant-Man at all. And I didn't like it at all. So I was just like, okay, that's good. And then Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm like, oh, this is going to be crap, just like Ant-Man or something like that. And I watched it. I'm like, oh, maybe was it really that good, or was my expectations so low that anything would have made it great?
That's why some of these popular movies, in my opinion, you have to watch them twice, because you have to let the hype disappear. You know what you're going to get, and then the next time you watch it, like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I was told it wasn't that great. I went in there thinking it wasn't as great. It wasn't that great to my perspective. I watched it again. I'm like, oh, it was better than when I originally watched it.
See, I like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 more than I like the first one. Because Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, spends too much time setting up every single character, where in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, it just starts.
It just goes, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 a lot. It's
my
favorite, the fight with, are they playing Blue Sky or
Yep,
whatever it's called?
Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Good start. All right, back to our thing. So I'm going to go Knives Out 2.
I will go Knives Out 2, hoping that I enjoy it.
Yes. Same.
I'm just curious, Brett. You haven't mentioned Death on the Nile because I know you didn't like the first one.
It's a good... there's one movie that makes me so mad. So mad. Like, whenever somebody just says, hey, what are your thoughts on the murder on the Orient Express? I blind rage.
Flames.
From the side of my face. Yep. Oh, I hate that movie so much. I hate that book so much, because you invest so much and you want to know who did it. And then again, sorry if I'm spoiling for this for you. Scrub ahead a couple seconds or whatever. But everybody did it.
Everybody but the person who died. and the
so enraging. Yeah. And maybe, like, I've been rewatching Alice in Borderlands, because when we get done taping this, I'm going to go home and start watching Alice in Borderland 2. And
you rewatch the first season?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's commitment there.
And I was rewatching it, the Witch game, where they're trying to find out who murdered this person. And maybe it was because I have this massive hatred for Murder on the Orient Express, but I'm like, I know who did it. Like, I knew who did it before that game started. And I'm like, it's because who did it is the exact reverse of Murder on the Orient Express.
Funny. All right. Next category, sports. We got Hustle and Home Team. I don't know what Home Team is.
So Home Team is on Netflix. It's a Netflix movie.
I've heard good things about that.
Yeah, it's about Sean Payton, who was suspended from coaching the Saints or something, or he was suspended, and so he went back to his hometown, and he started coaching his 12-year-old son's Pop Warner League team.
So is this a comedy? Because I'm looking at the names.
Yes.
Because I was like seeing Kevin James, Rob Schneider, even Adam Sandler's wife is starring in it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Kevin James is in it. Yeah, it was a
Happy Madison production.
Yeah, I think it was a good family movie, good sports movie.
Have to watch it.
I've seen that one, but I haven't seen Hustle. But I really want to see Hustle.
Hustle's fantastic. That's all I'll say about that. And so I'm casting my vote Hustle.
I haven't seen Hustle, but I'm going to cast my vote for that one because in this case, in Adam Sandler, I trust. And
that's funny. Both these sports movies have Adam Sandler tied to it.
Yeah.
That's funny. Good things.
I'm going to vote for Home Team because I'm not that guy,
Yeah,
but
you're that.
yeah, I'm that guy. But as you were talking about it, I'm like, oh, this is why people tell me I need to watch it, because it's it sounds like it's comedy, but it also sounds like it could be like a feel good.
Yeah, good one for the holidays, and it's, if you're like football, and
Football. Are you voting? Which one you voting?
I'm gonna go Hustle.
Okay. All right, worst of 2022.
Well, it should before we
animated.
go.
Let's go to
Let's go to animated.
Yeah, animated. Animated had a lot of things in there, and sadly, I've watched all but one. Turning Red, Lightyear, The Bad Guys, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Lightyear's on here twice. Minions, The Rise of Gru, DC League of Super Pets. The only one I haven't seen is Minions.
DC League of Super Pets.
I imagine I know which way Brett's going on this. I feel there's two options I feel like Brett could go for. Criddle, let's see. I'm trying to get into your mind. I think
So this helps. I've seen Lightyear, I've seen Chip and Dale, and I've seen the DC League of Super Pets.
okay. I think I know which one Criddle's going for.
Okay, if he knows, then I'm going with that.
If he knows, I'm going with that. Because you don't know. I'm going to say Turning Red was an interesting movie. I don't really care to watch it. I've seen it a couple times already with my kids.
It's not up to the same par level, I think, as Pixar.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Pixar is kind of going downhill a little bit.
Because Disney's getting their hand in the cookie jar too much. They just need to have. They do have Disney's like animated studio, and then they have Pixar, and they need to keep them separate.
Yes.
Lightyear, it was all right. I honestly can't give a full vote for it. I mean, I like a vouch for it or anything because I fell asleep during it.
I could have honestly not had the movie at all.
Yeah. The Bad Guys is funny, but it's not anything great. But it is like something that adults can watch with their kids and be entertained by. Chip and Dale, I've already given my thoughts on that. Minions: The Rise of Gru. Brett, you saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And DC League of Super Pets was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Come on, Chris Rock or Chris. Not what? Who am I thinking?
Dwayne
Johnson.
Hart.
Yeah, sorry. For some reason, I said Chris Rock,
Kevin
and
Hart?
I was thinking Kevin Hart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin
Always a
Hart.
great duo
Oh, yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well,
Bullet Train for the win.
do they have any animated parts in that? Let's see. I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna be curious if this is one that Jeremy was thinking I was going. Minions: The Rise of Gru.
Yep. That's 100% what I thought.
Oh.
I thought there's a slight chance Chip and Dale, but I thought Minions: Rise of Gru.
As I was watching Minions, the entire time it was playing, just massive smile on my face. It was so enjoyable.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet. I definitely need to. Is it on anything yet, streaming wise?
I don't know.
Just came out, so probably not.
Okay. Surprise, I'm going with Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers again.
And which one do you think I'm going with?
I think you're going with either Chip and Dale's. I'd lean towards Chip and Dale's.
Yep, that's what I'm going with.
Ugly Sonic for the win.
All right. Let's do best movie trailer, actually, because I'm surprised. Krill, you put that on there?
Yeah, just for fun. Just things to look forward to in 2023.
All right. Oppenheimer, Indiana Jones 5, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Mario Brothers, Mission Impossible 7, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Honestly, I don't think I've seen the trailer for any of these. Oh, and Shazam 2.
Yes.
I used to be the person that watched the trailer the day of. I still remember when, yes, I know how this sounds. Like, I was waiting for Matrix 3 trailer to drop. They had a countdown on their website.
I remember that.
And I was waiting for that to count down, and finally I watched it. Because I was still, on the curtails of Matrix 1, which was great. Matrix 2, every time when they made a Matrix, it went downhill. But I used to be that guy, and now I'm not. So I haven't seen the trailer for any of these. And Guardians of the Galaxy already has a trailer out, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen the trailer for Oppenheimer. I've started watching the trailer for Indiana Jones 5, and then I stopped watching it. Guardians of the Galaxy I've seen. Mario Brothers I've seen. I've not seen Mission Impossible 7. Spider-Man Across the Multiverse I've seen because like YouTube keeps telling me, have you seen this yet? Like it constantly is like throwing it at me.
It knows.
It knows. And then Shazam 2, like, of course I've seen that.
So I've seen all of these. Oppenheimer, it's just in Christopher Nolan style. If you're a fan of his, like I am, it tells you, enough about what's going to happen. But I mean, this is obviously based on history. But I'm a big fan of his, and I'm very curious to see his take on this particular piece of history. Indiana Jones 5 really tugs at the nostalgia for me. I'm hoping it's better than there was a supposed fourth one.
Yeah, there's rumored to be.
There's rumor.
It's so weird about that because there was supposed to be a third Austin Powers.
But I'm curious to see how this particular take. It's a from the director of Logan, so James Mangold. So I'm very curious to see his take on the character and which direction they take it. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. The second one, not as much, but I still really enjoyed it. And I'm really curious to see how they take number 3. And it's going to be James Gunn's last, I think, Marvel project.
That's right. Taking over DC.
Yeah,
Taking over
he
DC.
becoming like a high wig person in DC?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be his DC universe.
Yep. And then Mario Brothers really tugs at the nostalgia.
I have seen Mario Brothers. I was thinking it was a live action one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, it's the cartoon one.
And my kids are thoroughly excited to see it. I don't think I've ever heard them memorize a trailer more than anything else.
They memorized it.
They memorized it,
that's
and
funny.
they're very excited for it. And so it looks really good. It looks like they're pulling a lot of punches in it, which looks like it might be something worth seeing in the theater. Mission Impossible 7. I feel like the Mission Impossible series has gone uphill since Ghost Protocol.
You think it's still been going uphill?
I think so. I've thoroughly enjoyed Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie working together. I feel like they connect really well. And number 7 looks good.
I think it was good, and then I did not particularly care for the one with Henry Cavill in
The
it.
Fallout.
Because the instant
Yeah,
he
I
walked,
didn't really.
the instant he walked on screen, I'm like, "You're the villain."
I think they did that. They purposely did that just because they didn't want him to come off as like the
Replacement.
the replacement, or they didn't want it to be like the buddy mission, like they were going to work together and be friends.
Mhm.
And so they purposely made him come out as the villain. And at the time he was having a lot of issues with Superman and on Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And so they made him, they wanted it to be out there that he's the villain. And so I'm hoping that this continues upward just with the Mission series. If you haven't seen the trailer, go see it. It doesn't give away very much. But I'm excited for that. And it's actually going to be a 2-parter. 7 is like split into 2.
Wow.
And then Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I really enjoyed the first Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And this one looks like it's going to be even crazier, which I'm really excited for. And Shazam 2, I haven't seen that trailer in a long time, but I enjoyed the first Shazam. And so, why not?
I'm just gonna cast my vote for the one I'm most excited for. And that's Guardians.
No. Yep.
Does anybody know who the bad guy is in Guardians? Because I don't.
No, but
It needs to be Adam Warlock, if you ask me.
actually, I believe Adam.
He's in it.
He is in it. I'm not sure if he's the villain, but he is in it because
they did a nod to him in the number 2.
They show him in
Okay.
the trailer.
because
Who plays him? Do you know?
the redhead from
We Are the
Carrot
Millers?
Top? Just kidding. What?
We Are the Millers?
We Are the. I love that.
The redhead from We Are the Millers.
We Are the Millers. He was also in
Is he-
the Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Don't know what that is.
Did you ever see the Netflix that Black Mirror episode that is the Choose Your Own Adventure?
Choose Your Own Adventure. I mean, I've seen every Black Mirror.
I don't think you've seen the Choose Your Own Adventure. Black
Oh yeah,
Mirror.
yeah, I have. Yeah. No, I did. That one's I forgot because you have to watch it on your computer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Is this the guy that's on? Is he? Never mind. There's another Black Mirror where there's a guy who's a robot.
No. This guy is one of the guy. He is the guy that created like some Atari thing or something like that, and he ends up getting murdered or something like that in that Black Mirror. I think he gets murdered. I can't remember.
I can't remember that one.
But
Will Poulter.
Yeah, Will Poulter. He has gotten super jacked for the role. Like
Poulter,
he
man, he
no
looks so
longer
f-
looks like the actor that he was.
I didn't realize he was a redhead. I think that was the problem. Because yeah, he's one of the boys on We Are the Millers, right? The kids.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how I feel about that. That being him.
But for my kids' sake, I'll put my vote in for Mario Brothers.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for Shazam too. If we're just going on what we're most excited for, that's what I'm most excited for.
All right, let's move to let's end it with worst of 2022. So let's move on to best actor. So out of all these movies, or any movie that you can possibly think of, who do you think is even worthy? Because I mean, like I've mentioned, Batman from I don't even remember his name ever.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson, yeah, not really in my running. Greatest beer run ever, Zac Efron. He's in the running. What else is there?
David Harbour for Violent Night.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, and Brad Pitt.
Brad
for
Pitt,
Bullet
Bullet
Train.
Train.
Yep. I would even say what's Tom Holland for Uncharted.
Okay. Really, Tom Holland is the one that really steals it versus Mark Wahlberg, because I don't know.
I mean, what was it? I've heard rumors that, they wanted to make this movie years ago when Mark Wahlberg was younger and actually have Mark Wahlberg in the Tom Holland character. But yeah, I enjoyed Tom Holland, but I think best actor out of all of the movies that we've listed off for 2022, I think it has to go to Brad Pitt. He makes it so good. You are rooting for him, and like when bad stuff happens to him, you're like, oh man, why did he get punched in the face like that? I bet she didn't deserve that.
I'm going with that.
Honorable mentions for me before I give out mine. I want to say Nicolas Cage did fantastic with Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Also, the guy who plays what is it called? Mandalorian. I don't know his name.
Oh yeah,
but he's also
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, that's in the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Both did a great job in that. But obviously Nicolas Cage would get the lead actor there. And then the other one, I will give a nod to Adam Sandler in The Hustle, because this is probably one of the few, if not only, serious movies that he's done that I've actually appreciated.
You've got a bad track record with Adam Sandler serious movies.
Yes, I mean, I definitely have gone out of my way not to watch a couple of them just because I was all in. I put all my chips in on Adam Sandler at a young age. And so I watched Punch Drunk Love and I was like, oh my gosh, I just wasted an hour or 2 hours of my life. And that was because it was just a horrible movie. I've watched a couple others. I haven't watched Spanglish though.
I'll also throw in a nod for Will Ferrell in Spirited.
Yeah, I thought about throwing Spirited and Will Ferrell's in there because he definitely would be the one to give it to in there.
Like he's not 100% Will Ferrell. Like he tones it down.
No, he definitely the director definitely held him back from going full Will Ferrell.
I think sometimes he really needs that.
He does, absolutely does need that.
I will put a plug in for the main actress in the Everything Everywhere All at Once, the Michelle Yeoh. Like, it's one of those things where when you watch the trailer, you're like, I've seen her in places before, but you're like, I don't think she's that big, but she looks pretty good, and then you click on her IMDb and you see all the movies. You're like, oh, that was her? Oh, she was in that also? And it's just like, I think she actually is a good actress, and I want to. Even though I haven't seen it, I do want to see it, and I've heard great things that she basically makes the movie. So I want to throw that out there too.
All right. And one more throw out for Best Actor. And that was, and yes, I'm bypassing the main actor, Christian Bale in Love and Thunder. I appreciated him in that. I thought he did a great job. But I'm going with Bullet Train also with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Yep, Bullet Train for the win.
I'm going to really have to watch this movie. And then next week I'll be like, never mind, undo.
Now, do you think this would be a good New Year's Eve movie?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
All right, there we go. All right, Best Actress. So you threw in or what?
Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of other females. I mean, I don't want to say Love and Thunder because I do not appreciate what's her name. What is her name?
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman. Yes, I did at one time appreciate her. There's a lot of these movies that don't really have.
I mean, we cut out a lot of them by not really having a big list of dramas.
It's true.
I'll throw in Octavia Spencer for Spirited.
Oh yeah. I was trying to think of who the female was in that, and I'm like, I can't think of anybody. But
the voice actress for Gadget.
man, there's just not a lot of females in these movies. And obviously, I haven't seen Knives Out 2. I'm sure there is in that movie. Death on the Nile.
Zoe Saldana, Avatar 2.
on the Nile has
Death on the Nile has Gal Gadot.
Lost City has Sandra Bullock, but I'm not really going to give it to her.
Does Top Gun Maverick have anybody?
It has a girl from the original, but
Okay.
she's not in it very much. I mean, she's in it a decent amount. I lie. She's in about, What about Crawdads?
What about
She's good. I mean, because before I went to go see that, I checked out who the actress is, and I will tell you, there's so many English actors and actresses that are taking American roles, and so I go in knowing that she's from England and she's supposed to be playing like a Southern Louisiana girl, and I'm like, I'm waiting for her to like mess up on her accent. And I will tell you, she did a pretty good job of it. But
what about the lead from Black Panther 2?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's who's the lead in that? Because I haven't seen it. Is it the girl or is it the
Letitia Wright?
Yeah.
It's the girl.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that actually being the case here. My bad there, Letitia Wright. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna just cast my vote there, Letitia Wright.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good to me. Or I mean, but then the girl from Everything Everywhere at Once looks like she goes through a world of.
Yeah.
So I'll go with her.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the girl from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I also will take away my vote and give it to her. Because you can do that in the Normies.
Yes, because it's a normal thing to do.
Yeah, this is normal.
But Bullet Train for the win.
All right.
Of these.
Is that a teaser for? Let's see. We haven't done worst, but we haven't done also the best movie of the year. Let's do best movie of the year. So it's just gonna be Bullet Train.
Bullet Train for the win.
Bullet Train for the win.
Okay, Bullet Train it is. That's the Normies of Bullet Train of the year.
All right, 2023 is a lot to live up to.
Okay, worst of 2022. Right now on the list is Pinocchio, Fantastic Beasts 3. And I put it on here because I've heard a lot of people complain about the movie Falling for Christmas. That's the Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie on Netflix.
There's a lot of bad Christmas movies, so I almost feel like that's just
I know. If you just point at a single show that's on
the
Hallmark Channel
or Lifetime.
Well, one of my favorite things I heard recently was, did you know that Hallmark Channel has 10 months of Christmas movies and they take 2 months off for Valentine's Day?
That's funny. I mean, it's true because every time I've seen it in like July, they're still doing Christmas movies.
Uh-huh.
So the only movie I've seen on the worst of 2022, and I added it to the list, is Fantastic Beasts 3. It was so bad. They really need to do something like stop. Just stop, Warner Brothers, please.
Yes, that would be the best point of action. Just stop.
Just stop. Like
You can't
don't even reboot it. Just stop. I like Jude Law in there as Dumbledore and everything, but oh my goodness, like the story was just awful, and it's a waste of time. Granted, my wife's a big fan of the Harry Potter series and the Fantastic Beasts. Though she didn't really care too much for this either, but we bought it on Black Friday just to complete our set. But like, I'm glad I didn't buy full price. Like, we bought it at a severely discounted rate.
That's good. Yeah, I think just knowing Fantastic Beasts 1, I'm throwing my hat at Fantastic Beasts 3 because number 1 sucked. And I imagine things should have just got worse.
Yeah, and I will throw in the, what was it that I was talking about? I threw it on the list just to make mention to not watch it. What was
Pinocchio?
No. Oh, no, I know. I remember. Moonfall?
No. Oh, I've been told, I haven't seen that, but I've been
No.
told that that's bad. Let's see. I believe it was a mystery.
Yeah.
See How They Run. I will throw that in as a worst movie of the year, but I think I've never been that intrigued by the Fantastic Beasts. In fact, I don't think I've ever watched the first one. I watched the second one, and the entire time while I was watching the second one, it was one of those things where I'm like, is that Johnny Depp? I'm not sure if that's Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Is that Johnny Depp? I'm not
Something
sure.
you don't get with the Batman.
Exactly.
But yeah. All right. Well, Fantastic Beasts, the worst movie of the year from the Normies. All right. Well, any thoughts? Any last minute changes? Because we can do anything in the Normies.
Yeah.
Because we're normal. We're not the Oscars and give you crap that, man, have you ever tried to watch the movies that Oscars and all of them have, like the Emmys or whatever?
A couple of years ago, like in, I want to say like 2010, 11, 12 or something like that, I was just like, I was tried to make it a thing to watch the
Best Picture?
the Best Picture. And I want to say somewhere around 2016, 2017, I was like looking at all the nominations. I'm like, and just reading the synopsis. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this either. I don't care for this. And then I just decided, you know what? If it's nominated for an award, I probably won't like it.
Here's my problem with the Oscars is that I feel like they have put so much attention to the artsy movies and the lower budgeted films that, I mean, they totally overlook the movies that are putting butts in the seats at the theater.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's wrong.
Well, like, and I know that there's a listener that doesn't like when it gets criticized, but there's the Return of the Kings that won so many awards. I feel as though that was a makeup for
The other two.
the other two.
I agree.
Because like Return of the Kings was okay, but Two Towers
was great.
was amazing. And it was like, did that not win anything? And it was just like, oh, well, we probably should make up for this. So
Two Towers lost to Chicago.
That's insane.
Yeah. And Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring lost to A Beautiful Mind, which
Ooh.
I hated that movie. So just a real quick recap of all the winners of these Oscars Best Pictures, starting with 2021 going backwards. Coda, never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Nomadland, never heard of it. Parasite, I've heard of it.
Alfonso
I think it's a
Cuarón?
Korean movie.
Yeah, it looks like it is. Green Book, I've never heard of it. The Shape of Water, I've heard of it. Don't care to watch it.
No, it's about a love story about a girl who falls in love with the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Moonlight, I've heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Spotlight, never heard of it.
That's actually a pretty good movie, but
Spotlight is?
it shines a light on like the whole Catholic priest thing.
Oh,
Except
that's that one.
They make the reporters the more heroic people, and it should be like the people that actually were coming forward.
Let's see, The Birdman for 2014.
Never wanted to watch that.
I've heard decent things about
Mixed.
it. 12 Years a Slave, 2013.
Never watched it.
Argo, 2012.
That was
That
great.
was a
good
good
movie.
That was
one.
great.
That was a great movie. 2011, The Artist. That's a quiet, silent film, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a black and white silent film. Yeah.
2010, King's Speech.
Yeah.
2009, The Hurt Locker. I'm kind of surprised because I'm looking at the list of also other movies on there. Avatar was on that list. I'm kind of surprised Hurt Locker won.
Yeah, well, because James Cameron's ex-wife was the one that did the Hurt Locker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
2000. I'm just gonna go all the way to 2000. 2008, Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh, I hate that movie.
But when you comparison to what's in them that year, it must have sucked because Curious Case of Benjamin Button was there. Milk, The Reader, which I've never heard of. I know Brett would probably pick this one, Frost Nixon.
That was a good one.
I would say I've never seen Slumdog, but I'd probably go Frost Nixon. No Country for Old Men, 2007. 2006, The Departed.
Yes.
That one they got right, especially in comparison to what they had on there.
Mm-hmm.
2005, Crash. I will say that comparison to the list that I'm seeing on here, Brokeback Mountain, Capote, Good Night and Good Luck, Munich. I've seen all but Munich on that list. Well, never mind. I haven't seen Brokeback Mountain. I lied. I've seen Capote and Good Night, Good Luck, and Crash. I like Crash on that one. That's a good choice. 2004, $1 Million Baby versus The Aviator, Finding Neverland, Ray, and Sideways. I'd say it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
2003, this is where Lord of the Rings, Return of the King won against Lost in Translation, Master and the Commander. Master and the Commander was on the list. That movie was not that good.
Oh, that was so boring.
Oh, just a minute. Is this? Yeah, this is the one with Russell Crowe.
Yeah, he was probably riding the high from Gladiator.
Yeah. Mystic River and Seabiscuit. So if you ask me, Return of the King easily, hands down. 2002, Chicago won over Two Towers, which is dumb. 2001, Beautiful Mind won over Fellowship of the Ring. And ending with 2000, Gladiator won against Chocolat. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Aaron Brockovich, and Traffic, which I think that one's a no-brainer too.
Yeah.
So a lot of these, though, like, it's funny because I go through this in the 90s. I'm just scanning over it. I've heard of, I'm just going to do it. 90s, real quick. We've heard of almost every one of these. Starting with 1990 going forward. Dances with Wolves.
Yep.
Silence of the Lambs. Unforgiven.
Yep.
Schindler's List.
Yep.
Forrest Gump.
Yep.
Braveheart.
Yep.
Unfortunately, The English Patient. Titanic.
You can't do that in a bathtub.
Shakespeare in Love. Ugh. And American Beauty. Now, if you ask me, just to quickly sum up this seems to be when the Oscars start tipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why the 90s were the best decade ever.
Yeah, because Dances with Wolves a little artsy fartsy, but like Sounds of the Lambs,
horror.
Yeah, it's a great. Unforgiven. That's a good
one of the few westerns I can tolerate.
Schindler's List a little artsy, but honestly, like
it's a good story though.
Yeah, it's a great story. Forrest Gump, a little artsy fartsy.
I think you got HBO burned out.
Yeah, I really did. On this list of the same year against Forrest Gump, I kind of wish Shawshank Redemption would have won though instead. If you ask me, Braveheart, that's not artsy.
No,
that was good.
Just imagine if they filmed that today. You know the unfocused bottoms.
Oh, I hate when people do unfocus. Yeah. I'm just, the 2000s when it starts tipping to being artsy. And I think I want to say after, I don't know, I've never seen No Country for Old Men, but I'd say after Departed in 2006, it kind of just goes downhill mainly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They just shift it more.
There's occasional good ones like Argo and The Hurt Locker.
Oh, Argo is so good.
Argo and The Hurt Locker, I think, are the only ones that I've watched post
2006.
2006, yeah.
I think I would agree with that. So, yeah, this is where we're coming our revolution. We're having a revolution. Me and my mother's boyfriend are handing out pamphlets. What does Korg say? Anyone? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, hey, man.
Hey, you want to join the revolution? Anyway. But yeah, this is why the normies are here. We're here to right the wrongs of the Oscars.
Yes.
All right. Well, congratulations on a successful normies.
Yay, us.
What does the trophy look like? Real quick.
It has to be it's gonna look like an Oscar, except the face is Norm Macdonald.
That's what I was kind of tking of. Like, is this a Norm Macdonald honorary?
On a bullet train.
Oh no, I actually I take that back. It's an Oscar, like golden Oscar, but Norm in his dirty work attire.
I like it. The
Normal
the plaid
clothes.
shirt that's kind of just way too big for him.
Uh huh.
That represents the 90s right there.
Yep.
Yeah. That,
Jeans.
That statue always makes me horny. I mean, wistful.
Wistful. It makes me wistful.
All right, guys.
Get out of here. Get.